back to Babylon News. Now, unless you've had your head in the sand for the last few weeks, you will find it very difficult not to notice the 90-foot golden statue of our king Nebuchadnezzar. Now, you will also have known the royal decree that says that every time the music plays, we must bow down to the golden statue. Those who refuse are burnt in the furnace beneath it. Now, we hear reports of Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, the Jewish boffins that work within the palace intelligence service, have not been bowing down to the golden statue when the music plays. In fact, they have been refusing, and I understand that they have been taken to the king to be offered one last chance, or else they too will be thrown into the fiery furnace. We go over to our reporter via satellite who is observing the furnace and the developments there.
Yes, well, here I am in the palace garden, and as you can imagine, King Nebuchadnezzar was absolutely furious when he heard that Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego had refused to obey his order and bow down to his golden statue. But as Chad has said, they were given one more chance, but this evening I'm sad to say that they have refused that chance, and yes, they are going to be thrown into the fiery furnace. Reports have said that Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego replied to the king that their God was able to rescue them if they were thrown into the furnace, and that even if he did not, they would never ever bow down or worship the statue or King Nebuchadnezzar's gods. So we're waiting here this evening really to see how this all pans out and what will happen. Now we're just waiting for Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego to be brought out, and oh yeah, I can see that they are being brought out now, and the furnace is just over on my left side here, and we're just waiting to see what will happen really. They're being led towards the furnace now, and they are tied up, they're bound, so it looks as though their fiery fate is certain, as it were. And we're just watching, they're just being taken. Oh my goodness me. Well, sorry, just to fill you in on what's happening here. What's happened is that the fiery furnace seems to have been heated so hot that in fact the soldiers throwing Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego into the furnace have themselves been killed by the flames leaping out of that furnace, as it has been heated so hot. So hot is the rage of King Nebuchadnezzar as to what has happened. And right, so we're just watching now. King Nebuchadnezzar, by the way, is here as well. He's watching himself. I can see him just over, not very far away really, and he's just jumped up in amazement, it would seem. He looks amazed on his face, and he's looking around. He's looking at the furnace. I can't quite work out what it is that he's amazed at, and oh my goodness me, this is really truly unbelievable. There are 4 men walking around unbound and unharmed in the furnace. Unbelievable. As you know, there were 3 men only thrown into the furnace, and they were Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. They are there, and a 4th man who looks like a divine being. Absolutely astounding here. King Nebuchadnezzar is now going across to the furnace, and people are crowding in. As you can well imagine, people are crowding round to see what's happening, and he's saying, I can just make out what he's saying. He is saying that the God of Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego should be honoured, and that anyone that does not honour him or say a word against him will pay for it with their life. My goodness me, what a turnaround of events here. And he's now promoting Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego to higher positions within his kingdom. Absolutely astounding events here unfolding at the palace tonight. A story of courage of these 3 standing up for God. Back to you in the studio, Chad.
Wow, hot stuff. Anyway, in other news, in recent weeks, the St. Denis youth have been caught attending the Pure course. We asked Struan Roberts, the youth pastor, what's this all about, and how have the youth been counter-culture? Struan, tell us more.
The Pure course is about kids being counter-cultural. Our older youth at St. Denis are embarking upon a 6-week course of discovering God's plan for sex and relationships, and how it's slightly different to the world's plan, and hopefully we're going to empower our young people to go out and live lives that God wants them to lead, and to discover that ultimately God's way of being slightly different to the rest of the world is so much better.